Welcome to Toyfeld, the toy show about nothing and everything. If you're like me and you collect way too much stuff, then you've come to the right place. Here we're going to talk about toys from new to retro, all things Lego 1/6 scale, movies, cosplay, camera gear, sneakers, and much more. The list goes on.
Nice.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, man. The reason I wanted to, I've been hassling you to jump on is because I'm quite into stop motion, and I really admire you for putting in the time, because I always want to make some films, but you know what it's like. You spend a couple of nights doing it, and then you're like, well, you know how many frames it takes to get an actual motion, and then I'll do like one little scene, and then I'm like, and then something always comes up, and I'm just never finish it, and so I kick myself for never doing like a really decent feature, or even a couple of minutes. I always just seem to get like 30 seconds worth or whatever worth of actual film. But what I wanted to know is, how did you get into it, dude? What made you start getting into it?
So I think it started for me when I was like 9 years old, and that I was collecting the Power of the Force Star Wars toys back then.
Cool. In
the 90s. And then I was just walking down into our basement one day, and my older brother, he was doing some stop motion. He grabbed some of my toys, and I just remember like seeing it on camera, them move, and then the light was like hitting the lightsabers, and it made them like glow almost. And it was like the coolest thing for me. And I was like, that's when I like started to try it myself, and did a little bit here and there as a kid. And then there would be like competitions sometimes, like for school, or that I would enter that no one else would enter, and so I'd always get like a little like trophy. And then the crazy thing is, so when I was 11 years old, there was a national competition for Kraft macaroni and cheese. Like you could be on the box or something if you won. Right. And you could like, draw a picture, or like write a song or do a video. And so I did a little stop motion video of this little, like, he was like Gumby almost, like a little green guy, like eating macaroni and like really liking it. And then it won this national competition. Whoa. And then so I was on the box, my face as like an 11-year-old kid.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so that was like, and it's funny, I watched the video now and I'm just like, how did this win? Like, this is like, I guess as a kid though, it's
so good, you mind me ask what year was that? Was that, obviously that was around Power of the Force, what was that, 95?
That was let's see.
When did Power of the Force come out? In about 95, didn't they? Like
95-ish, yeah.
Just before the release of the new Star Wars, like, special edition kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which was 97.
Yeah, so, 90, let's see. My first one was Chewbacca. I remember that, and I was in first grade, so I was like, I want to say, how old are you when you're in first grade? I can't, like,
about
7 years old?
Yeah.
6 or 7 years old. And then, and then that competition when I was in 11, I think it was like 2000, 2001 when I did that competition.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, and then, so I kind of fell out of it after that. I maybe did a little, a few animations here and there.
Yep.
And then, it wasn't until after I was married, actually, and it was like pretty much when I started my Instagram page was when I started messing around again. So that was like 2016.
Yeah. And
it's like, but I've always been thinking about it, like,
just never put the time in, kind of thing.
Yeah. And so like I don't feel like I got better from practicing, but I just kind of like, I was like, okay, if I ever start again, I know I need to like, do more frames, control the figures, like lock their feet down with something, so it's not like, don't make the camera shaky. And So I was kind of like preparing. I don't know. I kind of thought about it a lot, and then I had a goal to do one once a week when I first started my Instagram page, and then I was doing that for a while, and then that was kind of a lot to keep up with.
It is hard, yeah.
Yeah, but I know you were talking about, that challenge of making a longer video. That's one thing I like about Instagram. I would just throw up a little clip,
and
even if it was like 5 seconds, and and that kind of helped me try to go for longer ones. And then now I think I'm at this point where it's like, I think I can stick with it long enough to make like at least like a 1 or 2 minute little film or something. Well, really short, but yeah.
They can get some serious views on like YouTube, and I know you like. I don't know whether you've got a YouTube channel. I know I follow you on Instagram, but I know that some of the YouTube guys, they've got millions and millions of views on stop motion videos, Lego or anything to do with Star Wars or Spider-Man, Transformers, and you can get mega amounts of views because if that's, I mean, you seem like you're a bit like me. You actually enjoy doing it rather than, you're not going out there to get like the fame of it. But the good thing is if you did make a good video, you could almost expect that you would just get views because like young kids will watch it. Everyone wants to watch it if it's good. As soon as it gets good view counts, it must just go on the top page of YouTube or whatever. But so what I was going to say, I was just going to ask you. So why action figures and why not Lego? Any reason for that?
I never really got into Lego as a kid for some reason. Like I thought Legos were really cool, and I had friends that had them, and I think I got like one set for my birthday, and I tried building it, and I don't know if I had the attention span for that. Yeah, it's weird because I guess I had the attention span for stop motion. But like,
which is harder.
But like building the Lego sets, I think it was. Maybe I shouldn't have started with this really big castle. I just never finished it, and I just kind of never had any desire to get any more after that.
Yeah, right. Well, only reason I ask is because they say that the Lego is an easier one to start on because you've got all the pegs.
Yeah, I guess I did one with a Lego guy, but it didn't have any. It was like on. There was no other Lego things. It was just a little Lego guy.
Yeah, right.
I think that's in like a highlight reel I have on one of my YouTube posts. Might be a harder one to find though, because you have to watch a few seconds into it.
I'll send you I did a Lego one. 2-3 years back now. Nothing special, but it was like a Lego Western, and I'd found all the samples for the gunfire and like the revolver flicking around, and he shoots like a cactus, and I put little cutouts on the gun. So I'll send you a link after this of that little one that I did. But I remember. My first stop motion was when the iPhone came out, the iPhone 3. So I don't know when that was, but I'd always watched stop motion on YouTube, and I always thought I couldn't even fathom how to do it, I thought you must need these cool programs or you must need something, and I did a bit of research and I realised that, there were programs, and when the iPhone 3 came out, I got a crappy stop motion little, whatever it was, app. And I did my first, most poxiest Star Wars stop motion. And then I was like, I did a little Dragon Ball Z one for like, 10 seconds. And I was like, I actually quite like this. And then from then, and so I don't know when iPhone 3 came out. I mean, that's got to have been... It was right before Instagram, because I remember I'd just started Instagram with when I had an iPhone 3, so I'm not sure when Instagram started even. I should look that up. I always ask that question. I don't really. I should bloody know. But it's got to have been, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago now since we've been on here, I suppose, since Instagram's been going. But so I did that, and then I just same thing. I stopped, but then I kept watching all the videos, and that was like my go-to little thing on YouTube. Like if ever I was bored, I'd subscribe to all these guys that would do stop motion. Like a guy that I like was a Lego guy, Brotherhood Workshop. He did heaps of Lord of Rings stuff, and you might not have seen it because it was Lego, but it was. I used to kind of like learn off him because he did heaps of behind the scenes tutorials and things like that. And I mean, it was. I kind of felt like it was too hard to get the knowledge to do it properly for a bit there, because I know that the iPhone sucked, and I knew that I had to have a stand, and I know that. This, like, I'm thinking like past tense, like as I know that everyone was using proper good cameras, like because I'd watch like behind the scenes of what's the one before Shaun the Sheep, like a Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, Wallace and Gromit,
yeah. Like I'd watch like on YouTube behind the scenes of how they did it, and they've got these big Canon full frame lenses, and they've got all these programs, and I'm thinking, oh, no wonder. And they've got all these like mechanical rigs, and I'm thinking,
yeah. So
that's how they make it good. Here I am just bouncing my Lego around, and I'm thinking, no wonder I suck at this.
Yeah.
But your stuff, man. Do you want to? What I wanted to ask you is, I've watched a heap of the Street Fighter kind of style videos. How did you catch on to that one?
Oh, so are you talking about that? Which one? There was like that tournament, Street Fighter tournament.
Yeah, I can't find where. Is his name Chinamaro or something?
Yeah, Chino Moreno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still ongoing. It's kind of been a long process, but yeah, he was one of the guys on YouTube that kind of motivated me to get back into it. I liked his channel a lot. He had like a really cool Darth Maul stop motion that when I saw that, I was like, dang, that's like, as a kid, that's like epic. What I wanted to try to do. And so, yeah.
We must have been living in the same thing, but I sound like I might be a bit older than you, but I watched that exact video, and that's what made me want to do my little poxy little Lego video.
That's awesome.
And but that channel's gone now, isn't it? He got rid of that channel for some reason.
Yeah, that channel, he stopped putting stuff on it. Or I don't know if it's still up, but he has another one, so it's like Chino 1 Moreno now.
Well, I actually tried to look for it, like, I don't know, I can't even remember, it might have been 6 months ago, but I remember he did like a Blade. Am I thinking right? Did he do like a Blade one?
I'm not sure. I know
the Darth Maul, but yeah. I had in my mind that he did like a Blade one, and
he does stuff from different franchises, so he could have.
But yeah, I don't know everything. I couldn't find it. So yeah, I want to check out.
I could try to send you a link back to his channel.
Yeah. If he's got a new one, yeah, for sure.
But anyway, he posted. I think he got 10,000 subscribers, and then he put out this competition it's like a Street Fighter style, and basically you just had to use a green screen, do all like the command, moves. Like the moves, like if it was a video game, like do like a punch.
Yeah.
And then you have to have them go back to their starting stance position.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the challenging part, was get him to like punch and then go back to normal. And then you had to do, there was a list. He had a list of like, I want to say like at least 20 moves we had to do. And so I had to do something Star Wars. I did the white Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And then he had me fight someone who did an Iron Man animation.
Yeah.
And so that one's passed. That was the first round.
And so how does it work? Did you So you send him the video and he does all the editing?
Yeah, that's basically, yeah. So there's a lot
of. He must be like a master of bloody green screen. How the hell does he do that?
And yeah, I'm not a fan of green screen.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to go on for a little bit longer. I don't know if there's going to be more rounds or if it's just going to be the first round, and because it's a lot of work for him, but it's been cool, and it's been cool to actually kind of talk with him too, like him being one of the guys that kind of got me back into it, like his channel. So whereabouts is he from? Is he from the States as well? Is he, or? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't gotten around to asking him that.
Yeah. And so have you actually got past the first round in this like Street Fighter thing? Because I know that you did. Did you do a turret?
So that was my first. That's who I wanted to do at first.
Yeah, because I saw I think that's how I started following you, is because I saw that on
the turret one. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you go search on Instagram and it just shows you things that you might like. I think I saw that. And I was like, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, this stop motion. This is cool. And I think I've been following you since then.
Okay.
But so you didn't end up using that one you used?
Yeah, I remember testing him with one day, and I was like, he had like this. He has like soft good clothes on the legs, I think.
Yeah.
And then like a hard thing on the back that like propped him up like perfectly, actually.
Yeah.
Like he kind of leaned back on it, and so I was like, man, I might be able to pull it off with this guy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why someone else had signed up for Boba Fett, who was the one I wanted to do, but he dropped out, or he might have changed. He changed his fighter, I think.
Yeah, right.
And so I was like, I just messaged Chino
and said, on the Fett train.
I want Boba Fett, yeah. Yeah. And the way I did Boba Fett actually was a kind of I don't know if it was kind of like a trick, I guess. Like I actually had the camera going straight down.
Yeah.
And I had him not flat on the green screen, but I like propped up a piece of glass, and I just had him on the glass. So that way I could have him like, floating in the air. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I didn't have to rig it up to have him jump and stuff. I just had I've used that trick a couple times.
You just moved him on the glass kind of thing.
Yeah, and I had like this like putty that kind of held him in position, but it was under his body where you can see it. Yeah.
I've used that trick a couple of times doing like wrestling figure moves and that. I put it between the ring, like right on the rope line, and like a piece of acrylic, and then you could get the guy doing like I think I did it one time with like Stone Cold doing like a stunner, and because then his legs were floating off the ground, holding onto the guy, and it was right on the rope line, so you couldn't see the actual glass holding him up, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So I know exactly what you mean. It's and I've seen other guys do. I've seen heaps of guys do like Spider-Man poses, where they'll put the glass. I don't know how they. I did see one guy shot it behind the scenes. He put the glass between like some walls, and he had Spider-Man doing some funky pose that. And then I think the way that he angled it, he shot down so that, a bit like what you're doing. So then you could put Spider-Man in a wacko pose with like holding onto the web, but you couldn't do it any other way. So no, that's a cool idea. I wouldn't have thought. I'll have to look back and see that, because don't you have him flying?
He's. I just trying to keep it simple, and so like. Instead of having like this cool like martial arts stance, I just kind of had him floating with his jetpack.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And did you do the jetpack effect, or did?
Yeah, the effects aren't as good as I don't know. I should have spent more time on those, but yeah, I just found some free thing off YouTube. I think of like like a flame.
So it wasn't like your After Effects type of thing or anything like that.
Yeah. Which now I'm working on one. Well, I don't know. I'm not to get too ahead of your questions or anything, but that fan film awards that was going on, I entered one of those, but I didn't have time to do the lightsaber effects, so I'm using After Effects now for that one.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to start using After Effects a lot more for some effects.
Well, it's the best program, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So what did because you can what is it, $10 a month or something? You can get like the full like the full cloud type of version. You get After Effects. What else do you get? You get Premiere Pro for movie editing. My mate keeps trying to get me to get it because he uses Photoshop. He's like, just get it. It's like $12 a month or whatever it is. I'm like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
But I have seen some YouTube videos. Like I always look up how to do lightsaber effect. After Effects. I'm like, ugh. Everyone that looks like really, really good, they always seem to be done in After Effects. I'm like, man, here I am using like a epoxy app where you draw like the line on, the ones I'm talking about. Oh man. So what I was going to say is, can you tell me what program and that do you use at the moment?
Yeah, I use the Adobe stuff, so Premiere. And After Effects, I guess that's kind of for the editing, but for actually the stop motion filming, I have Dragon Frame.
Yeah,
actually.
cool.
So
I have that as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's pretty awesome what you can do, and I need to learn a lot more of it. I feel like I'm not even scratching the surface of what people could actually do with that program.
I'm about as amateur as they come with that Dragon Frame. I basically just use I had I thought I'm going to buy a Dragon Frame and I'm going to make stop motions, and I reckon I made about 4 since I've had it, and I've had it for quite a number of years now. But I mean, it wasn't that dear. I don't know what it was, $300 or something.
That's about right.
But it was cool that it comes with a little controller and all the rest of that. But I only use it. What's the problem that I find with it? I've had to keep my old camera because I've got this old banger of a Nikon like DSLR, my first ever camera that I started shooting with. It's a decent entry level Nikon, and it works perfect with Dragon Frame. And then I've gone and upgraded. I've got like a Panasonic G7 or whatever it is, Lumix, with all the lenses and stuff, but it doesn't read through Dragon Frame. So I've had to keep this Nikon forever, but it's okay because you can plug it in and you get live view on it, which is really cool. Yeah. Does that work? Do you have that as well, or?
Yeah, you plug it into the computer, and I just use my laptop.
So you can do like the onion skin kind of thing, so you can see like where he previously moved, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty well what I do as well.
That upped the quality a lot of some of my work, I think. Getting that. Well,
yeah, I think pretty sure they make like as simple of a thing as it is to have like that secondary frame as to show you where you were before. How simple is that? Like, I wouldn't have even thought of that like 10 years ago. I was like, how do I know where he was before? And I know a lot of guys that they just click through their camera, and that like a lot of guys that have done real well, they haven't even used. They just use the camera, but I don't know. I'm so hopeless. I bump the camera. I bloody.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, I got better. I was having trouble with like light flicker and things for a while there, but I sorted that out as well. But I still like, even when I'm thinking everything's perfect, I'll play it and there'll still be a flicker here or there. I don't know what it is, whether a car drives past my house or something. I don't know. But,
it's kind of a trial and error thing, huh? You just slowly like learn from your mistakes.
So what camera do you use?
So I have a Sony. It's a Sony A7S II.
Oh, okay, that's the big boy one. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So my kind of excuse was I actually have a video business I do I was doing that full time for 2 years, and then now I actually, just from doing that, I was able to get a job doing video at a different company. So I kind of bought all this like nice lighting and cameras for my business, and then of course I was going to use that for my stop motion stuff.
Yeah, it just happened to work out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing.
That may or may not have been my reason to start my business, was to fund my stop motion.
Oh, that's cool, man. And what lenses and things do you use on it? Do you just use like prime lenses or?
Yeah, I have a one kit lens that's like a zoom lens, and occasionally I'll use that because that can zoom in more than any of my other lenses. But I have a prime kit. It's like they're actually cinema lenses, like Rokinon, and it's all manual aperture. Wow. Like and I mean those are a pretty decent price, like cheaper than a lot of like the Canon, or I don't know, like Sony or Canon ones. So I just got that kit, and I use that for a lot of stuff. I don't know what it is about those lenses that I just really like.
Yeah, cool. And so how many frames do you shoot at?
So I try to stick, my goal is to do 15 frames because that's what I believe, like, Robot Chicken does it at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, I don't know if you follow Donald Faison, who was in Scrubs.
I do, yeah. Well, I don't know whether I follow him, but I have watched his videos a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that he's into stop motion, and I think one day he saw one of my videos, and I guess he's a cool enough guy, like, he reached out and messaged me, and he's like, you should try shooting in 15 frames, like, because I was trying 24 to keep it really smooth, I thought, and he pointed out that, like, if you have more room for error if you're doing it 15, like 24, it'll look really glitchy if it's not like perfect.
Yes.
But he was saying at 15 you can, make bigger movements and it won't be noticeable as noticeable. So I try to do it at 15, and if sometimes it ends up looking too slow for what I was going for, and then I just speed it up to 24 or something, and I kind of have that. I just kind of like mess around in between that spectrum of 15 and 24.
Yeah, funny that you say that, because when I thought I'll do some stop motion videos, I first got the Dragon frame. I thought, well, right, I've got the good program, I'm going to do some 24 frames per second kind of thing. And the amount of movements that I did a couple of movies. I did even like a little Luigi Mario kind of video, and it turned out all right, but I do know what you mean. And the last two that I've done, I've gone down to 15, but I didn't realise it was because Robot Chicken did it. I just found that 24 was too many, and I thought if I do 15, I thought to myself, well, I'm no pro, and I don't have all the rigs, and I thought it'd be better for me to get a couple more seconds worth of stop motion film than that was my thought process. I thought Robot Chicken would be doing 24, because I'm pretty sure like Shaun the Sheep's 24 from memory.
Yeah, I think a lot of the feature films probably do 24. I could be wrong. It depends on like the look they want to go for, I guess. Like some like want that like cartoony,
stuttery looking, yeah.
Yeah, and then some like Leica Studios, or Leica, however you say it, who did the Kubo and Coraline.
I haven't seen. Is that the samurai one?
Kubo's the samurai one.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, I keep forgetting to bloody watch that.
Holy, yeah. The behind the scenes stuff of like Kubo is almost as good as watching the movie.
I've watched all the behind the scenes. I haven't watched the movie, and I was like, "What is this movie? I need to watch it." I watched him building all the houses and everything like that, all the dioramas, and it's crazy. Well, I think maybe I'll have to stick with 15 then, because that sounds like a better idea. I know all the Lego guys do 15. Not many people do 24. because Lego's so stuttery anyway. You fall into a bit of a pattern where you have to land on a peg kind of thing, and it kind of you can only move the legs so far before they're going to have to lock into a peg. So it kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
And do you find when you're doing your videos, do you think to yourself, like if you're wanting to do like a punch or whatever, do you think, well, how long did that take? This is what I think in my head when I'm doing them. I think, how long did that take me? And then I think, right, that took like less than a second. So I've got to be like, I should be able to do that in like 7 frames. But then I do it like that and it looks crap. I'm like, what the hell? It's hard.
For me, I still don't know like the perfect like amount for, punching or walking. So it still feel like it's guessing for me. Sometimes I feel like I guess, I don't know, I get lucky and just guess right. And then sometimes it's like, if it's too slow, I just go back in the editing and like take out a frame if I want his punch to go faster.
Or add some frames or whatever.
Yeah, I have some videos that like, it's like a mix of 15 and 24 frames a second.
Oh,
like
really?
It's kind of, like it's like, okay, like this part's supposed to be slower, so I just cut it and then slow down like the speed duration a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. And what, just in like a movie program or whatever? In your movie editor? Yeah, cool. Yeah,
and so I do a lot of weird things in post-production to probably like save my butt from some of my mistakes while I actually have a trick I do that I want to make a tutorial because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure other people have, figured this out, but like and it might make me sound a lot worse than maybe I appear. But, there's this feature in Premiere and I don't know if Final Cut or other programs have it, but you can slow your footage down to 50%. And then there's an option, it's called optical flow, that
smooths it out.
It smooths it out and it adds it kind of like creates frames in between. And so I use that so much and it smooths out a lot of stuff and it can do a pretty good job. I mean, you want to make it as smooth as possible beforehand. So like, I'm going to make a tutorial about this one because it's helped me a lot. And, I don't know. I probably come across as smoother than I actually am. Like, just my raw animation. But
now that you say that, I've done the same type of cheat, but I don't have that option where it adds frames. If something's too fast, and again, I'm no pro at all. It's just sometimes I've seen like that went too fast. So what I do is in the movie making program, I'll cut and copy and cut and copy and cut and copy those frames. Same basic principle as you. So if he's about to like stop and the camera's on his head and I need it to go like it went too fast, I'll just have it add that same frame in a couple more times. So I do it manually. Basically, I cheat just like you, but I just do it the harder way. I probably haven't figured out how to do it the easier way.
That's if I need to add frames, I'll do something similar. Like, there's a way to like, you hit a button and it makes like a screen capture, like just a photo, and so I would just add that photo in, stretch it out a little bit longer.
Cool.
So I'm sure, the pros probably have things like this too, but I'm sure they're good enough where they don't need to do it as much.
There's another guy I watch, and he does heaps of like Terminator and RoboCop ones. I've forgotten his name, like X.
Oh, is it DG?
Yeah. He's a part of the Street Fighter thing as well, is he? Or
he's one of the judges, actually.
Okay, yeah. Because he's got like 100K followers or something on YouTube.
Yeah, he's someone I've been starting to message a lot too, getting to know him. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah,
cool. He's got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, well, I saw he does a lot of the but oh man, he does like 15-minute like.
I watched
one of his during like my lunch, And I had like people behind me during lunch. I'm sitting there having my smoko, and they're like, "What's this?" And it was like a Terminator versus RoboCop or something. I can't remember. Yeah. All the guys behind me have never seen, like, they've seen stop motion, but they're like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And he's got all the explosions and lasers. Like,
yeah,
man, how the hell does he sit down and put in that amount of time? That's just mind blowing to me. Like,
he's
one of
the most dedicated ones.
How do you, like, because I know that there's other guys out there. Who's one that is it like he does like Spider-Man ones all the time, and I've been following him for ages. He does them like on motorbikes and things like that.
Oh, like around his house?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got the most followers.
Lazarus, that's it. Laz something. Laz one or something.
Lazarus. Yeah.
How the hell does he not get light Flickr? This is what I always think. He's got the guy, Spider-Man lands up on his like bench or whatever, and then runs. And like, I've got like not a Spider-Man, but like, let's just say a Stormtrooper with like proper lights. All the lights are off. TV's off. And I get light Flickr. And he's got his Spider-Man running around the house and following it. I'm like, how the hell does he do this?
Maybe he must close his blinds or something. But yeah, that's a good question, huh?
Well, all I can think of is unless he does them all at night. But I do remember every time I think that, like, yeah, I don't know how he does it, because I know, like, as soon as the light moves around your house, you're going to get all different shades of light during your photos.
Well, he kind of makes his live action, like, with his, like, to carry the story, like, where, like, people, like, checking their computer. And then I'm trying to think of when he has the action figures, like, if you ever see windows in his shots. So he might have, like, studio lights he sets up.
Maybe.
And just kind of, makes it look good enough.
But he's a good one. That I like watching those videos. They're good.
Yeah, his are super clean. And
there's another guy. What's his name? Counter66. He does heaps of like Dragon Ball Z ones.
Holy cow, his are insane. Yeah,
and he puts all like the special effects in and everything as well.
Yeah,
that's when this is when it's like the what was the guy that we just talked about before? DX
Gina. Oh, DGDX.
Yeah. That's when, like, so one, they do the movie. So they take all the frames in the stop motion, like, you know how long that takes. I know how long that takes. Then they edit it. But then they put all the sound effects in. And then they put all the visual effects on. Jesus.
Yeah.
How do they... Oh, man, maybe I should set a goal. I want to do like 1 minute video. That's what I should set a goal.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should set a goal of 30 seconds first. That's what I should do. 30 seconds. I keep getting to like 15 and then I'm like, oh man. Because what's that at 15 frames? Like, you're talking like 200 photos. It's so many. What was I going to ask you? Because I don't want to keep you, man. I wanted to ask you, what else have you got coming up? Because I know you did like that Spaceballs competition. How did you go in that?
How did it go?
Yeah.
I was.
They featured you, didn't they?
Yeah. So I was on the website. I ended up not being one of the winners, but which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like I was a finalist on their website, and I was pretty grateful for that. And like I was saying before, I don't know, maybe if I planned my time better, I could have finished the lightsaber effects in there, but I ended up entering it without the effects. And so I'm working on the effects now, and then I'm going to post the full thing to Instagram.
Cool.
Hopefully pretty soon. I think I'm about halfway done, and it's only 50 seconds long, and so shouldn't be too much. Well, I mean, it's still kind of a process, but hopefully not too much longer. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll get that up on Instagram.
Yeah, because that was that was like as I was watching, I was like, I in my opinion, I saw that you'd gone like to another like level. It just looked so much smoother, and all the time was in there, and I was like, oh, this is. I was like, where the hell did you just come from? That's what I was thinking. Like, how did you pull this one off? Like, how?
Yeah.
Like, so that's awesome, man. And also was it the dewback one as well that you did? That one was really cool. As well.
The unboxing one.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that one was, I think, my first one where it was like, man, I think I can make these videos a little longer, and like I felt like that's the first one I reached. I felt like I reached this point where I could plan out what I wanted in the video and kind of actually follow through with it. Before it was just, I would start something, it would be 5 or 10 seconds long, and I'd be like, I'll just throw that up on Instagram, and it's not really part of anything big or
yeah.
But that dewback one, that's probably one of my favorite ones to date.
Yeah,
actually,
that is a cool one. So did you write down like what you were going to do, or you just had it all in your head? You did like a little storyboard or anything, or?
So the dewback one, that one was kind of all in my head, but like I think I don't have like a photographic memory or anything, but I have like a really visual. My mind works really visually, I guess, and I had like the shots kind of planned out, and they didn't all come out the way I wanted, but like overall, like I was really satisfied with how it came out.
That's a good one.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but the one I did for the competition with Luke and Bader, that one was kind of already storyboarded because I based it off a comic. And so I'm going to take some screenshots of the comic I followed when I post this next time, just so people can, swipe on Instagram and see what it was all based off of.
Ah, cool. That's a good idea.
Because I don't know how many people have gotten into the newer comics that they've come out with. But
so most of all your stop motions at the moment, they're all been Star Wars. So that means that's basically where all your passion lies, Star Wars only kind of thing, or?
Yeah, for the most part, and I don't know if it's just must be something rooted in my childhood, I guess, because that's basically all I collected, and I'm not honestly a huge toy collector. I have a lot just from as a kid, and then I have a lot now that I want to use for stop motion videos, so I have a collection. I don't have them like displayed or anything. They're kind of all just in drawers. I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe getting like a stand or something for like some of my favorites, but the only other franchise I've kind of been considering maybe starting is the '90s Ninja Turtles, the new NECA.
Oh well,
when they come out with GameStop, I'm like,
they're worth a purchase.
Yeah, and they're not as much as the 1/4 scale ones, so. I've got
the 1/4 scale. I've got all of them but Donatello, and they're amazing. But I started getting them because before they'd said that they were going to bring out those 6-inch ones, and yeah, man, I got way too many figures. That's my problem. So just stick with just Star Wars. If I could give you any advice, it would be cheaper on your wallet. That's
the thing. I'm like, okay, if I start Ninja Turtles, am I going to have to like go all out with that too? But no, I don't. If I do, it'll probably just be like Raphael or something. He was my favorite.
Yeah, I've got him in the 1/4 scale with the trench coat. I haven't opened it yet, but oh man, I can't wait to open it and take some photos of it. It's going to be awesome. So
yeah, you do. You have some. You should do some pretty good photography with your toys too.
I've now that I've moved out to some acreage, like the past, I don't know, like 20, 30 photos. I used to do all my photos in like my little room with all my toys surrounding me. I used to set them all up with lights and everything. And now that I'm out on acreage, I just grab a figure and I walk down my backyard and usually grab a shovel or whatever and just dig up a bit of my yard and chuck a trooper in there or whatever and throw some sand around and try and get some photos. But I enjoy it. It's cool. And I take my kid down there and get him to hold on to sparklers and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. That's cool.
I'll have to send you a couple of stop motions that I made. I knew what would happen as soon as I started talking to you. I'd be like, as soon as I get off the phone, I'll be like, right now, what can I plan out to do a stop motion? That's what I like about doing these type of things. You know, you draw inspiration from people, and
definitely,
that's one of the big questions I like to ask. Where do you get your inspiration to make your videos?
It could be really from anywhere. I guess one big source is the Black Series Instagram page where it's just photos, but like just some of those photos I find on there they're just so, the poses are so well, and it almost looks like it should be part of a video. And I was like, and that's kind of one thing that helped me want to make my lighting better and stuff too, is I kind of wanted to try for that kind of look that you see featured on that page, but make it into stop motion. And so like just the photography is a big inspiration. It can spark a lot of ideas. And then I have about a 40 to an hour minute commute to work every morning, and so I listen to audiobooks, and I've been listening to a lot of like the older Star Wars books, like the Thrawn books, and like there's certain scenes in some of these books that I'm like, dang, like just that description of that scene was really cool. Like, how could I make that into like a stop motion? And then probably one other source is like any movie, like I don't know, we were watching the new Mission Impossible movie the other day, and I was like, man, could I make like a spy movie, like a Rebel Spies, or I don't know, like I get inspiration from other just totally random movies.
That's cool, like, man.
Trying to think of an example. Oh, actually, I'm working on one right now. It's I don't know. It might, in my mind, I want to make it kind of like that Lazarus, or I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Where he has like a continuation of episodes. I have one now where I found a bunch of random, like, we had like a broken window AC unit, like air conditioner unit.
Yeah.
And I took it apart, and it kind of looked like city buildings. And so like, I just kind of built this little city on the streets, and I'm working on like a Han Solo. I got the patrol trooper from Solo as well, and kind of want to make a little like a speeder bike chase type of thing.
Oh, cool.
And so in my mind, I want to make lots of episodes that continue off each other, maybe throw in some of the new bounty hunter figures in there. So that I'll send you a sneak peek of that one, what I have so far, but that'll be a while before I post that one, because this one's going to take me a long time. But
so what are you going to put them on YouTube, or are you just going to stick with Instagram?
Yeah, I'll put these ones on YouTube now that they're starting to get longer.
Yeah, cool.
My YouTube channel has the same name, the Jacobugath88, but I think I have like 30 subscribers just because I haven't really posted a lot there, try to build it up. But yeah, I think with these longer videos I got going,
yeah, man,
I have a lot of ideas. Like I have like a Rogue Squadron one. I've kind of written out a little bit, and hopefully can get that going too.
Well, what I always say is write it on your blackboard, man. I always say put it on the blackboard. It's another guy who was on the podcast. We were joking about it. We come up with all these ideas, and I threw it out there, and I said, put it on the blackboard. Write down one of your ideas, because then you can always look at it, and you can think, I still got to make that movie. It jogs your memory, kind of. Unless you write it on your notes or whatever.
Yeah, I should do that. I think I try to rely on my memory too much for things, and I just forget stuff. So,
how much time do you spend on your films, like in a week, say? Do you try and like dedicate like every couple of nights, or what do you usually do? What's your process there?
It used to be a little bit more than it is now. now that I have like kind of a commute to work, I get back kind of later and, want to spend most those nights during the week with my family. But usually it'll be like a Saturday night or Sunday night. I'll do a little bit of animation, just for, a few hours. So it's kind of a lot slower process for me now. I have goals to try to wake up earlier in the morning and do it, but I'm just not a morning person. So I'm trying to find a way where I can, manage my time, not, cut into too much family time, but still try to get some new stop motions getting out there.
It is hard.
But yeah,
there's
stuff always in the works for me.
Cool.
It's just, slower process. And I'm going to try to post little behind the scenes, shorter clips to Instagram so people know I have something coming.
Yeah, keeping active, yeah. And have you ever thought about getting into doing some photography as well, or just sticking with the stop motions for now?
Actually, recently, I've kind of been enjoying just the photography side. Yeah. Some of my most recent posts have just been photos, which I haven't really done that in the past. So
yeah, I've seen that's what you had some Rogue. Were they like Rogue One style ones? Was it?
Yeah, I had one with a couple with the Rogue Cassian from Rogue One.
Yeah, Cassian. Yeah. And then some cool lighting X-Wing people.
Yeah, so a little bit of photography in there.
Cool.
And
man.
some of that photography will probably maybe just become part of what I'm trying to do with stop motion, but just show some shots, different angles I'm testing out or something.
Well, what people don't realize is that you've got to almost be a bloody camera expert to make a stop motion movie. You got to know everything about the camera, and then you got to know the angles, and you got to then know how to pose the figures, and you got to be an expert to get somewhere.
Yeah,
but man, you're doing good, and I'm really enjoying watching your videos. So I can't wait to see what's coming up next. It's gonna be awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So man, what we'll do is there anything else that you want to have a chat about, or you think that we've missed out on, or anything like
that? I guess the only maybe one other thing I'd mention is anyone who's listening that might want to try to get into stop motion is just, it's kind of a trial and error process, but you're in control 100% of what's going to come out, what the product's going to be. So if you notice something's flickering, like you were mentioning, try to narrow it down to what's causing that, and just keep doing, keep at it, keep practicing, and just, analyze your shots, be like, why is my figure shaking, and, watch reference footage. If you're trying to make a guy run, I watched Usain Bolt in slow motion, running as a reference. No, I was like, he's a good runner.
Yeah.
So
he's a bit fast.
But I found a YouTube video of him running in slow motion. And I was
frame by frame.
And I was and it kind of helped me see the movements I need to do for someone running.
Yeah. And
so it's a lot of study, practice, and trial and error, really. But I've definitely improved, but I have a long ways to go. And I'm just an average person, who's practiced, I guess, and not professional quite yet. But maybe one day, I don't know. But it's just anyone could really do it. It's just a lot of time, and once you get to the point where you enjoy it, then that's where you start to see a lot more improvement, I think. So.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's good advice. I would 100% agree. It's just I don't take my own advice and actually get in there and do it. I just keep thinking that I want to do it. So I would agree with you. I mean, all you got to do is start taking photos and work out the rest from there. You definitely get better as each video you do as well, because you're like, oh, that looks like garbage. Oh, that looks good when I did that. And you just learn from everything, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's heaps of good stuff on YouTube as well if you want to look at any tutorials or anything like that. I've found heaps, and how to do run cycles, walk cycles, how to set up your camera. That's pretty well how I learnt off YouTube and then taking some pictures. But I mean, I'm nowhere near your level or anything close to it. That's my advice from a semi novice.
Yeah. The tutorials are definitely helpful, and there's so many out there. Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
I'll stop recording, but we can chat after the video. Do you want to let everyone know where they can find you? What's your Instagram and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird spelling, but it's Jacobugath88, which is Jacobugath 88. Same name on YouTube, which don't have a lot up there yet, but
more's coming.
There'll be some down the road. Hopefully not too long. I'll definitely post, my do-back one in the competition on YouTube. So some of the longer ones I've already done, I'll throw up there.
For sure, dude. You got to.
And I say longer, they're still under a minute. But, yeah.
Well, here's one for you. What's the goal for 2019? You're going to try and do I know that you're going to do your little series. You got any other little projects in the works that you want to try and do, get to I don't know, a 5-minute type of film or?
Yeah, so there's that series I told you about that'll have Han Solo in it. There's the X-Wing fighter one, kind of Rogue Squadron type one. That one I want to be longer. Yeah, and just depending on how I have the story end, maybe there'll be more, maybe not. I have a Clone Wars one kind of planned out. It's not going to be too crazy, but it's just going to have 2 clones in it. Let's see. I think those are the main ones for 2019 that I want to get going. I have a couple collaborations with some friends that those are hopefully can be done this year too. There's one we've been talking about it for 2 years and we've written out a script and stuff, but we haven't really started on it. Oh, really? Yeah, but so that should be cool.
Well, if you ever want an Aussie voice, mate, for your
oh, dude, you're the clone.
I can be but they're Kiwis.
Or is that New Zealand?
They're Kiwis, yeah.
Okay,
but I mean, yeah, I don't want to offend any Kiwis, but most people from the States probably can't distinguish between a Kiwi and an Aussie.
I know there's a difference, and occasionally I can be okay, that's for sure New Zealand, like Flight of the Conchords there, you can tell that's different.
We have lots of Kiwis here, so especially on the Gold Coast where I live. So it's quite funny. Lots of Maoris live on the Gold Coast, so I get to speak with a lot of Kiwi boys, and heaps of them work at my work as well. So it's quite funny talking to them all the time. So if you want any Aussie clone troopers, mate, I can do that.
Oh, dude, that would be perfect because I cannot. I'm not a voice actor.
I'm offering my voice acting services.
Dude, you're hired, even though I don't pay anything. So
it's all right, man. I'm free.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Cool. I think I'll definitely reach out to you for that one.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Everyone's. We all like these interests. Why shouldn't we help each other and share? And
I know.
Whatever else?
Yeah, dude, some of those people who make the dioramas, there's. I mean, I'm sure you've seen them. How awesome those are, and the good photographers. My dream would be this guy makes really good dioramas. Let's have him build a set. And then this guy, is really good photographer, and this guy can animate. It would just be cool. I don't know, somehow we got funding for it, and just a bunch of people come together and make a really cool stop motion. I don't know, a really longer one, and
big half an hour movie or something like that, or 20-minute type of deal.
Get it. And there's